Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube live stream. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We'll get started right away here. Put in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from today, which city or which country you're tuning in from today, and we shall get started right away here. My name is Richard Ajay, and I'm the head trader and co-founder here at Trading Rich, and I'm happy to present to you the game plan for today. So the market is the futures market is currently showing. The last time I checked, I saw that the Nasdaq was green. Let me check again. It looks like, yeah. So we have the Nasdaq green. We have the ES green. So it means that we are going to get a gap up tomorrow, which is a good sign. Okay, so let me know where you are tuning in from. Put in the chat where you are tuning in from. We shall get started right away. All right. So let me know where you're piping in from today. All right. New Jersey, US. Okay. All right. New Jersey, US. Okay. All right. So we'll get started right away without wasting much time. We'll get started right away here. So last week was a little bit of a whipsaw action in the sense that on Friday, the Friday before last week, Monday, we got that big reversal in the market. So the market sold off and it reversed on the same day, and we went back up and closed green. So going into Monday, we had a big gap up in the market, and that gap up continued for 2 consecutive days. So we got the gap up on Monday, we got a green day on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we got another green day, and then Thursday we started going down in the market, and we closed the week red. So basically the market came back from where it started from on Friday and sold off. So on Monday the market's open, we had that big gap up, and on Wednesday we had AMD boosted the AI trade and semiconductor sentiment by outlining an aggressive growth target at its investor day. So that caused the AI stocks and all the green, all the AI semiconductor stocks to also rally, and AMD also rallied as well. And then on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, there were news that the House were going to pass the funding bill to reopen the government, and it was a foregone conclusion because that rally started on Friday. It kept on Monday, and then Thursday, finally, they voted and the government shutdown was stopped. And then President Trump signed the bill, and the government was reopened. Then came that same Thursday. Thursday we had, so basically what happened on Thursday was like, it was like a buy the rumor, sell the news. So folks were buying the market because of the government shutdown being resolved, and the market reopened, the government reopened, and then immediately the government reopened. It's like, okay, we already know what the outcome was, and the sell-off started. But actually the sell-off really was due to Fed members saying that they are not sure there's going to be a rate cut in December. So the market has already priced in a rate cut in December. So that statement caused the market to sell and signaled a sell-off in the market on Thursday. So Boston Fed Governor Susan Collins signaled that rates should remain on hold. That means that no change, contributing to downshift in in December's rate cut expectation. So the market is already positioning itself to get like an interest rate cut, but for some reason, Fed members are all of a sudden saying that, well, I don't think we are going to get interest rate cut. So that is something that the market did not like, and it caused the market to sell, right? And then we also saw that volatility. So that volatility in the market started in mainly on Thursday. Like on Wednesday, it started showing some weakness, but Thursday was the time that we got the follow through. And then we came back to November 7th reversal lows. So we the market ended up the Nasdaq ended up closing red last week. Okay, so going to the summary of all the different sectors in the stock market. So we start with the XPS. So the XPS is the S&P 500. So that one closed red, 0.7%. Nasdaq also closed red. We have the Russell 2000 also closed red, and then we have the 11 sectors of the stock market. The staples like consumer staples closed green. Energy closed green. Energy got a rebound last week when the market was selling up. Typically, when energy is up, it typically causes the market to sell. And then utilities were down, materials were up green. Real estate was down. Technology is what has been carrying the market due to the AI trade that was red. So anytime technology is red in this AI led rally, you are going to see a sell-off in the market, right? And healthcare in the 11 sectors, healthcare was the best performing. It closed 4.14%. Okay. And then we got discretionary. Discretionary sector was down by 3%, and industrials was 1.29%. Bonds bonds rallied a bit, but it closed the week still in red. And the 10-year yield was up by 0.24%. The VIX got a big rally due to the volatility in the market, due to that statement about no rate cuts in December that caused the VIX to spike, and it started rallying to the upside, and it closed the week at $19.82. Okay, and then we got gold. Gold as well ended up closing green as well, and then oil was red. It closed the week red, and then the biggest of them all, the biggest loser of the week was Bitcoin. So Bitcoin broke below the psychological number of 100,000, which is a big deal, right? So we are going to review the details today. Where is Bitcoin heading? I've been getting DMs from members asking, hey, what's Bitcoin heading? Is it going to go to 50,000? Is it going to go to 10,000? Where is it going? Like, what's happening to Bitcoin? Is that the end of the cycle? So I am going to present to you and show you guys where Bitcoin is heading next, what I'm doing with my money in terms of Bitcoin, and then we can all analyze it and figure it out from there. Okay, so the best performing sectors in the 11 sectors of the market is healthcare, energy, staples, materials, and then in terms of the assets that we trade, the worst performing was Bitcoin at almost 10%, losing its psychological level of 100,000. Okay, so now that the government shutdown has been resolved, we are now going to start getting data, economic data, right? So this economic data would move the market in one direction or the other. So this week we are going to get some economic data coming up. And so the BLS, that's Department of Labor Statistics in the US, are the ones that report unemployment rate and jobless claims and all that stuff. So originally they were set to report those jobless claims numbers on October 3rd, but now it's expected to be middle of this upcoming week. And then we have September PPI, which was scheduled to be released on October 16th. Due to the government shutdown, it's anticipated to be released in the upcoming week. So we are going to get a number of economic data. So the market hasn't gotten any economic data for a long time, right? And more or less, I said the market has been trading blindly. That's why I've said that the rally that we got was not a real rally because it doesn't include economic data. So if you want to get a real rally that can be sustained, you need to get the economic data to know, okay, we are not going to rally today and tomorrow we can sell. So going into this week, we are going to see them start releasing the economic numbers, and these numbers are going to have an effect on the market. Okay, so September retail sales originally planned for October 7th are likely to be facing longer delays. Okay, and other economic data include October jobs report. Originally, this was scheduled to be released on November 7th, but due to the government shutdown, it says that data collection was disrupted by the government shutdown, creating significant gaps. So there's a possibility that the October and November data are going to be released together in December. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But from the look of things, there's going to be some kind of release of the data. Initially, the Trump administration said some of the October jobless claims might not be released at all. And that is not a good thing for the market. That means that somebody's hiding something and we don't know what's going to happen. But with Thanksgiving coming next week, I believe that whatever it takes, all those numbers that are going to come are going to be somehow favorable to the market. Like what I've seen in the past 10 months is that anytime there's a big holiday coming, usually the economic numbers are favorable. They've never put in a bad economic number getting into holiday. So we shall see if that streak continues, right? Yeah. So CPI for October, which was originally planned to be released on November 13th, due to the government shutdown issues, may not be released at all. So we shall see how that plays out. So I'll go to the I'll move straight to the economic calendar here. So this is the Market Watch site. Over here on Monday, we don't have really much to talk about on Monday. So on Monday, we have this Fed governor speaking. So again, if they continue pounding the no rate cuts in December, that's going to cause things to happen. So, I mean, what I think is going to happen, I'll explain what I think is going to happen once the jobless numbers are released, and you guys can judge for yourself. So here we have November 18th, we have, so these things are not really, they're not going to really move anything that much. FOMC meeting, this is very important because the market is going to determine how the Fed members were thinking in their votes, whether there was those signs of not cutting interest rate in December, or is it something that was new? Okay, so this is the meeting minutes. So this have to happen on 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, there's going to be the jobless claim. So my main economic data this week is going to be this one, jobless claims, right? Because the main reason why the Fed cut interest rate in September and October was due to weakening labor market. And with all the layoffs due to the government shutdown and all that stuff, this number, I believe, is going to come in bad, right? And if it comes in bad, it's not going to be a bad thing, because that's also going to put pressure on the Fed that, hey, you know what? You guys cannot say you're not going to cut interest rate. So I believe what they're going to do is that they're going to release the number in such a way that it's going to look bad. So you are going to get that initial reaction from the market, bad reaction, a sell, and then maybe the market is going to come to its senses and then recover again, because bad job numbers is good for rate cuts, meaning that the Fed will be forced to cut interest rate in December. They will not have any choice. So I believe that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, I mean, they're going to make it in such a way that the Bureau, the Fed members are going to be pushed to the corner to cut interest rate. And they've done that before, like, so it's a pattern. So they've done that before in, I believe, before the September job numbers came out. Those job numbers came out was really bad. It was around 265,000 or 63,000, which was really bad. And because of that, the Fed did not have a choice not to cut interest rate. They had to do it. And they said that they did it because of the job numbers and not inflation, right? The initial reason to cut interest rate was inflation, but this time around, they were doing it based on the job numbers. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we are going to see here on Thursday, and then on Friday we are going to get we are going to get consumer sentiment. So consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. is going to move the market in one direction or the other. Okay, all right. So now let's go to let's go to upcoming earnings. What are the key earnings for the week? So the earnings that I'm going to be looking at this week are going to be mainly Home Depot, right? Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, right? Apart from these other ones, the key one that the market is waiting for is NVIDIA, whatever you call it, whatever, right? Is the world's most valuable company, right? Is the company with the largest market cap in the stock market. When it was at all-time highs, it hit 5 trillion, right? So what you're going to look at is that I know NVIDIA is going to beat. However, the main thing that Wall Street is going to be looking to listen to is, what is their guidance? Is their guidance going to be strong? Are they going to continue saying that they have a lot of business, a lot of they can assure that in the next upcoming quarter, business is not going to slow down, business is going to show strength? That is what is going to be the key thing. If NVIDIA comes and NVIDIA flops in the earnings, is going to be catastrophic for the market. You are going to get a big sell-off, right? So NVIDIA cannot miss. So the hopes of any kind of rally this week is going to be dependent on NVIDIA. So this is how the market works. The market is a forward-looking instrument. So what it's going to do is that it's going to start moving in the direction of what it thinks NVIDIA's earnings is going to be, right? So it's going to start rallying to the upside. As we've seen already, we've seen in the futures market, we've seen that the market is already rallying. So it's going to rally into that until the Wednesday earnings come out. And if it comes out and it's bad, then we are going to see a sell-off from where it was to the downside. But if it's good, it can catapult the market to all-time highs and make new all-time highs. So I believe that this is not the end of the bull cycle. I believe that the market is going to go and make new all-time highs at some point. But that hinges on NVIDIA performing well, and also that hinges on the job numbers, right? So the economic numbers have to come in good. It doesn't have to come in very bad. Like, for instance, if the number comes in like 300,000 jobless claims, that is very bad, right? That's like meaning those are recessionary numbers. So as long as it comes in okay, something that is good, we are going to get that rally to the upside. I believe that we are going to get one last final rally, and that final rally is going to come in the stock market. We are going to get a final rally in crypto. This is not the end of the cycle for crypto. No, I don't believe so. We are going to get one final rally, right? So the market cannot top when we are at extreme fear. No, we have to go to extreme greed, and that is going to come from here on. I believe that we are going to get that rally to the upside. And I believe that those economic numbers, I don't really worry about them, because I know that the administration will make it everything in their power to make sure that those economic numbers don't come in very bad. The last thing they want is folks going to Thanksgiving celebration and talking about a big decline in the stock market. No, that's not happening, right? And also, whilst we are getting into December, Christmas time and all that stuff, I don't think we are going to get any kind of craziness going on, unless something, a black swan event or something very bad from nowhere that we do not know happens. But other than that, anything to do with economic numbers, I believe that they are going to do something to it to make sure that those numbers come in good and nice, and we close the year on a high note. So for now, if I'm a betting person, I'm betting that we are going to close the year on a high note, but who knows? Anything can happen. As a technician, what I'll do is that I trade with the charts, not feelings and sentiments, right? So based on that, we can position ourselves strategically to end the year on a high note. So apart from NVIDIA's earnings, there's also earnings with retail companies. So these are Lowe's, Home Depot, especially Walmart. Walmart's earnings is going to be a bird's eye view into the consumer's current state. I know that the US economy, the real economy, folks in the real economy are struggling. The economy is not the stock market. The stock market is not the real economy. The real economy is not good. It's weak. So Walmart is going to give us that view, right? a clear view of what the consumer is facing, right? Also, we can get some from what's it called, Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, so Walmart is going to be a critical one, and that one I'm going to be watching to see how that plays out. And then we have Baidu. Baidu is an American, a Chinese company. Baidu, yeah. So we are going to look at how that one performs. I believe that's the Google of China. So we are going to see how the earnings go on Tuesday morning. But the main earnings for the market, in terms of all eyes, is going to be on NVIDIA. If NVIDIA misses or reports cold or weak guidance, is over, right? We are going to get that means you are going to get a sell, right? It doesn't mean that bull cycle is over. It means that we are going to get a sharp decline in the market. So NVIDIA cannot miss. I believe that because NVIDIA has sold off a lot, we are going to get some kind of a rally. We are going to get our post earnings is going to close green. If it was at all-time highs, I would have said no. All-time highs is going to sell, right? So we shall see how that plays out this week. All right. So next thing is, let's go to the technicals and look at the charts that I'm going to watch, right? So let's look ahead. Let's look ahead into the future of what we are looking at, how I plan to make money this week. So let's go to the charts and go through it one after the other. So we go through. So the first one I'm going to go through is the SPY. Okay, SPY. So those that are part of our day trading service, those that join us day trading on Friday, it was a fantastic trade. Again, if you want to be consistent, if you want to like day trade and become consistent, either in the options market and in the futures market, you can join us to trade live. Okay, so over here, what we do is that we basically trade every day. And the month of November has been really good, right? Month of November has been really good, right, in terms of day trading. So here, if you want to day trade with us, what you need to do is that you come to our website, tradingrate.com, and then you come to like here, you check out this live day trading. So every morning, Monday to Friday, unless there's a statutory holiday, I trade with subscribers every morning. We trade futures and options, right? The futures traders trade futures, the options traders trade options, right? So you can pick and choose what you want. And there's a lot of you can pick and choose what ticker you want. So it's like a buffet of trades, right? So when you go to the buffet, what do? You pick what you want, right? I can go and pick chicken, you can go and pick beef, or maybe I'm a vegetarian, I just go pick vegetables, right? So in the day trading service, when you come in, you can pick and choose what you want, and then you trade it. So basically what it is that we day trade live for members 5 days a week. And then what we do is that we start the game plan at 8:45 a.m. Eastern, so live screen share at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. Then we talk about the game plan from that 8:45 to before the market opens. So before the market opens at 9:30 a.m., everybody knows what to do and knows how to execute. And then immediately the trade triggers, we go ahead and take it and we make our money. So typically most of our trades we are done by 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That is where I call the easy money, right? The easy money is gone by then. So we make your money, and then if you want to trade after that, you can now trade on your own and get things done. But usually within the first hour, we are usually done with our day trades. So the goal is to finish all trades by 12 noon, right? So by 12 noon, we pull money from the market every day and we keep that consistency going, okay? How much does this cost? This is very affordable. So it's $97 USD per month. And this is, if you want to do the yearly one is even a better deal because you get 2 months free. So you pay only for 9 months. And if you want to be consistent, I believe that anybody that trades with us for even 3 months, there's no reason why you can't be consistent, right? Because it's pretty much you train you become you get that screen time, and you know what setups are your A+ setups, right? And those that if you trade with us for 1 year, there's no way you trade with us for 1 year and not be profitable. That's going to be crazy, right? There are members in this service where they've been on a green streak for the last 3 months, right? Every day green. So again, if you want to learn and you want to pull money from the market on a daily basis, this is the service for you. So I'm going to put the link here for those that want to sign up. If you want to sign up, don't hesitate, don't waste time, because this is turning into a day traders market, right? This turning into a day traders market. So I'm going to review some of the trades that we took last week, like on Friday. And on Friday, I made it open for everybody. Everybody could come. So anybody that came in, they saw the trade. So we took those trades right from the gates, right at the gate. So again, what happened on Friday? So on Friday, we got a big gap down. Like the market has sold off a lot. We got a big gap down in the market. Everybody was scared. Everybody was confused of what to do. I say, hey guys, calm down, right? We've seen this before. We've seen this movie before. So what we did was at the open, this was the trade here. We took QQQ. So at the open, basically what we did was, it was a simple trade. The trade plan was that, so this is pre-market low, right? So the trade plan was that at the open, if we hold pre-market low, right, we are going to lean long. Lean long means that you have to think to go long, right? Buy call options, right? Lean long, go long, and stay long. That was the message, right? However, if we break pre-market low and get that continuity or follow through, we are going to buy put options, right? So that is something that is so as a trader, you have to have what is called a playbook. And those that have taken our courses, there's something that we cover that in detail. I cover that in detail, right? So I have 5 playbooks that I play, and gap down is one of them. It's like my bread and butter, right? So anybody that trades with that, you know that that's our bread and butter, right? Because this is, so anytime there's a gap down, you have to think the opposite. Do not think like conventionally, right? In the stock market, conventional thinking does not work, right? As humans, we think conventionally, but in the stock market, everything is the opposite. Okay, so this is the deal. This has sold off a lot. So at the open, what the market makers do is that they like to trick traders, especially the untrained and unskilled trader. They like to trick them, right? I even said that on a Friday. I said, listen, they like to trick people. So what they are going to do at the open, I talked about this in detail. I told members at pre-market during the game plan that at the open, what's going to happen is that the first directional move or first directional pick is going to be down. Why do they do that? Because what they are doing is that they are pushing it down to confuse the untrained and unskilled trader. So that what are they going to do? Immediately they say, oh, let me go short. And then what did they do? Boom, they reverse it on them, right? So for those in the live day trading room, we already know that trick. That's the market maker's trick. We already knew about it, and I drew everything in advance. Okay, so what happened at the open? First 5 minutes, what did they do? They pushed this down. It broke pre-market low, and I told everybody to calm down. Right, calm down. Like don't enter any short because we need to get follow through. Right, and immediately, what do we see? So this is a pattern that we trade in Trading Rich. So if you're taking our course, this is called a bull 180. A bull 180 is like a reversal. And immediately we saw this. Immediately this green candle traded above this. I told members time to go long. So we took I alerted the $600 calls expiring on Monday, and then bingo, it just went. So we captured that trade from here to here. I told members not to sell everything, hold some runners because this is going to run. And we captured what? A 13-point move, almost 14-point move, right? From the entry to the top of the day, right? And a lot of members made very good return on that trade. And if you join us, you would have seen it live in action. And it was pretty straightforward. Like, look at this. This was by 12 noon. Before 12 noon, you should have been done. By the time we got here, most people had made money already. By 10:30, so usually 10:30, we're almost done, right? And I told members hold your runners because this thing looks like it wants to go up to the upside, right? And it was awesome. So for the QQQ, those that bought the one expiring on Monday, the results was 240% approximately, 240% return on investment on the options, right? And then in the futures market, those that traded futures, that was like 500 points, right? From the entry to the end. That's like a $10,000 trade. Okay, so that is how you, if you want to learn, you join a very a group of people, like winning team. You join the winning team, and then you capitalize on these trades, right? Because these are high probability trades. We didn't stop there. We traded QQQ, right? That one was green, beautiful green trade, right out the gate. It was like it made it look easy, right? But again, it's about familiarity, right? Again, we know that is what's it called, a playbook, and we traded that one. That's one of our playbook. Gap down. Tomorrow we are going to have a gap up, so we are going to trade that playbook gap up. So as a day trader, if you day trade, you have to know how to trade gap downs and gap ups. If you can learn anything, learn how to trade those two and make them your bread and butter, because you can pull money from the market on a regular basis if you know how to trade that. Okay, so that was QQQ, and then the other one that we traded, which was really spectacular from the open, was MU. MU was an absolutely incredible trade, because right at the gates I saw that MU was very strong. MU was like very, like, even when SPY was going down, MU was taking off. It was crazy. Even when SPY was going down, MU was going up, right? So right at the gates here, immediately after the first 5 minutes candle, I told members that, hey guys, we are looking to take this trade, and actually we bought two types of options. So I told members, listen, I am trading the same day expiry. I don't want you guys to trade that because it's risky, right? So I took their 250 calls expiring on Friday, and then I also took the 260 calls expiring this coming week. That's November 21st, right? So this thing just took off like a rocket ship, right? It just left. So from here, if you look at this trade was from where our entry was, somewhere here, to this place, 20 points in one day, right? 20 points in one day. Again, the same strategy. Again, it was a gap down, and we capitalized on it, and that trade returned 422%. 422%. That's 4x return on your investment, right? So again, if you join the winning team, you'll be pulling money from the market on a regular basis, and you also learn. The most important thing is that learn is not even about making the money, because once you learn and you identify what it is, in the future, when you see it, it's going to be easy peasy, right? It's not easy peasy because we are just, because we are putting the work, putting the time, and the screen time. Screen time is everything as a day trader, because the more you watch something, you see the patterns, right? You see the patterns. Okay, so again, this one also was a very nice green trade, and the third one was Tesla, right? We also took Tesla, right? So here, right at the gates, I told members that I was looking for something like an inverted and shoulder. So here, this stuff. So this is why I drew from Friday. I've not even changed it. This was it, right? From here to here, boom. We're able to capture the move right at the gates here too. This was what, almost 30-point move, right? 30-point move in that. So this was a fantastic trade, right? This one, those that traded it with the 0DT, that was around 400% return on this. Okay, all right. So again, if you want to join us, if you want to sign up, if you want to learn about day trading, because once you learn day trading, you can be able to pull money on a regular basis from the market. Then by trading your high probability setups. You don't need to trade every day. You just need to trade only the high probability setups to pull money from the market, right? So you can be the gap up and gap down trader. That's all you trade. If you come and you don't see gap up or gap down, you don't trade, right? That's the thing. But every single day we have like setups that we trade. So as I say, it's like a buffet. So you go and pick what you want. Some traders that were trading with us live, they took SPY. I did not take SPY. I said people to take QQQ because QQQ was stronger than SPY. SPY was showing weakness and it was a little bit slow, right? So if for instance the market was selling off, who would have attacked SPY instead of QQQ, because you don't want to go attack the strongest link. You want to attack the weak link to make your work easy. Okay, so yeah, so let's go to the charts here. Let's look at this for SPY. So this week, what I'm looking for is that because we are going to get that gap up, let me see what the futures market is trading right now. Let's see where price is going to be. The ES is up by 22 points. Let's approximate it to 23 points. So that's going to be like 3 points from here. So that's going to be at around 7, yeah, somewhere here, right? So if the futures market was to open right now, we are going to open somewhere here. So you're going to get a tiny green candle somewhere here. It's going to be green, not red. You're going to get a green candle already. And then you're going to get that gap, right? That gap between that and the green candle. So what I'm looking at is that we need to find price, SPY needs to find a way to break above this moving average jump. If it's able to break above the moving average jump, then it's going to make life easy, right? But if it's trading below the moving averages, it's going to be like a fight, a little bit of a fight. But above the moving averages, it's off to the races. First profit target we are going to target here. Second profit target will be here, somewhere here, right? So this is a critical level. That's the high of Thursday when the market started selling off. High of Thursday. So here you can clearly see what happened during the week. So here, this was Friday. So those in our community and our swing trading service, we captured this move. So I alerted this when SPY came all the way to the low of the day, 661, right? I alerted it and we swung it overnight, right? So we swung it into the new week. So by Monday, once the market opened, everybody was green, right? So we had captured a more than 20 points move in the market, right? 20 points move in the market. And basically what happened was I told folks to take profit and leave some runners. So I held some runners. For Tuesday, held it to Tuesday, and Wednesday is where I offloaded it, because I was expecting this to close green and push up, but it failed to push up and I closed the position, right? So I was able to capture the move from here to here, which was 23 points, 24 points move in the SPY, which was more than enough, right? That's a big move, because typically you don't get that kind of big move in a short period of time. Okay, so this was a nice move in. So Monday we had a gap up. Tuesday we pushed up. Wednesday we pushed up here. Thursday we topped off, and then Wednesday, this was Wednesday. Thursday we had that Fed sound bites that they were going to cut. They were not going to move forward with interest rate cuts in December. That caused the market to get mad, and then it sold off. And where did it sell off to? Price does not go into random spaces, right? It goes into technical levels. What did he do? He came here and filled the gap. So the gap from Friday was filled. So gaps fill sometime in the future, right? So he came here and filled the gap. And then on Friday, we opened red, and then what did he do? The reverse. So on Monday, I believe that we're going to open somewhere here, assuming the futures markets don't like collapse or something. We are going to open somewhere here and we are going to push up at least to 680 on the SPY. Okay, so that's the SPY. And so based on the futures, like right now, short term, I'm bullish, like in the market, as in if we can hold and trade above the moving averages, because trading above the moving average 5 and 9 is the first sign of recovery, right? Meaning that we are now in the uptrend, super uptrend, and we are going to push up and can make some new highs. And then based on what NVIDIA does on Wednesday, if that earnings comes good, then we can get continuation to the upside. And also the economic data is also going to play a role. If the numbers are bad, then sorry, we are going to go down, right? If it's good and the market takes it out, okay, if it turns into negative news is good news for the market, then we are going to rally. If it turns out, so again, so this is what's going to happen. If the numbers come in very, very strong, like strong as in, okay, we thought that jobless claims were going to be bad and it came in very good, then that's not good for the market, because that means that the Fed can chill a bit and not cut interest rate. But if the numbers come in bad, like something like 250,000, 260 or 70,000, then that's going to cause, is going to force the Fed's hand. They don't have a choice to cut interest rate at that time. Okay, so for SPY, if we break below this Friday's low, if we break below Friday's low, then the market will be in trouble. If anytime this week we break below Friday's low, then the market will be in big trouble, meaning that we are going to come down. So this is what I've witnessed throughout from April. See, from April, since we traded above here from April, what day is this? From April, May, from May 9th to where we are now. Every single time we come close to the 50 SMA, the market bounces. So even on Friday, I was telling members that in the live day trade that if we can remount the 50 SMA, we'll go up, because that has been the line in the sand for the bulls. So I will not call off the bull market until we break clear of this red line. If we have not broken clear of this red line, forget it, right? Because time and again, the bulls have held it. So here, let's count. On this day, this was August 1st, it came close to it, not quite. So 1, we are going to count that 1, 2, even here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So 9 times if come close to it. So let's count the one that has started. So because that's more significant. So here, 1, 2, this close, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So based on time counts, the 7th time, I don't think it's going to survive, right? Because anytime, so let's say you have a door and you hit it. So anytime you hit that door, every single time you hit it with a hammer, it makes it weak. So every single touch that we've touched this makes this weak. It makes this weaker. So I believe that the next time that we come close to it or break it, we are going to get that break to the downside. Also, if you go to the weekly, that red line on the daily is equivalent to the 9-week exponential moving average. On the day that we break and close below, the day that a candle breaks and closes below there, a weekly candle closes below there, you know that, okay, trouble, there's trouble, right? Then we are going to head down, okay? All right, so in terms of downward pressure, okay, if we lose, like, Friday's low or even the previous week's low, and we go down, you see this trend line, this upsloping trend line, this has been the trend line from April to now. On any day, if we break below this trend line, this upsloping trend line, this orange trend line, then we are going to head down. We are going to head down to the 100 SMA at least, right? And that's what is going to initiate the 10% correction, okay? Because if we break that 50 SMA, we are going to head lower. And that could be devastating for the bulls, right? The bulls have done a very good job to defend that level all throughout, like for several months. I don't think they are going to lose that battle right now. The fact that the bears could not get a job done on Friday and the previous Friday and the day that President Trump tweeted about China not exporting rare earth materials, restriction and stuff, the fact that the bears did not get a job done means that they are losing ground to the bulls, right? They are losing ground to the bulls. So we shall see how this plays out in the coming weeks till the end of the year. So that's for SPY. Let's look at QQQ. That's the Nasdaq, the tech heavy QQQ. So QQQ is is where the tech stocks are, and that has been what has been moving the market over the last several months and years due to the AI trade. So with NVIDIA reporting, I believe that we are going to get that break in this and push higher. So when all is said and done, if NVIDIA does very good job in their earnings, I believe that we could be close to new all-time highs or even all-time highs. Who knows, right? But again, it depends on those NVIDIA's earnings and the economic data. So this is how I'm positioning it. If the economic data comes in bad, that means that the Fed do not have a choice. They have to cut interest rate, which is good for the market, good for equity. So we are going to push up, right? NVIDIA reports good earnings and posts strong guidance, then boom, all-time highs coming very soon. So do not be surprised, right, to get all-time highs. The same way we can get all-time highs in a flash is the same way we can break below these lows, right? If price breaks below this trend line, you see this trend line here? If we break below this trend line and this Friday lows, then the market will be in trouble. We are going to go down from there on. But for now, I think the bulls have the advantage the bulls. The fact that they were able to close this day's candle above the red line means that they mean business, right? So as long as they are not able to come below here, I think that will move up to new all-time highs as soon. So for me, I don't think that this is the end of the road yet. I think we are going to get one last rally into year end, and we are going to get into a blow off top situation. So this all-time highs here, this one here on QQQ, it's not, I don't believe that's going to be the final all-time highs when at the end of the year. At the end of the year, we are going to go higher than that. Okay. All right. So now let's check out the other tickets that I have here. Now that we've gone to QQQ and SPY, let's go to let's check out gold. Check out what gold is doing. Gold, check out gold. So gold and silver were strong last week, and they pushed up. We also had in the swing trading service, we had like a gold and silver swing, and all of them printed 100% return. So this was a swing that I alerted a couple of weeks ago in October, and we finally played out as per trade plan, and it worked out nicely. So here we have silver. We have gold here coming down. So what I'm looking at is I'm going to look to see if gold is able to hold this moving average 20. If it holds here, or what it can do is that it could be a retrace to the scene of the crime here, and then bounce from there and go. So maybe that's going to coincide with the 50 SMA here, and then based on that, we can get gold to recover. Okay, so we shall see if liquidity is moving away from gold into Bitcoin. We are going to cover Bitcoin very soon. Bitcoin has been going through a lot. It's been selling and everybody's panicking, right? So we shall see how that goes. But with gold, I believe that we can get that pullback, retrace to, so break and retest. So this was the break and this is the retest or retrace to the scene of the crime. Then from there it can go. So we have over here at the top here, we have something looking like a cup. And then this is going to come here as the handle, and then we can now finally break to the upside. Let's look at silver. Silver is silver as well, same idea with silver. Silver went up to retest the previous all-time high, putting in a double top. So this double top is, is trying to confirm, but it's not done yet. If you can pull to this area, the breakout area, we can see if we can bounce from there. But silver was a strong one. We caught the swing trade on this, and this was really nice, right? So we used SLV and GLD. So GLD, this is how GLD looks for those that want to trade gold using the stock market. So just GLD, it put in this top and tail candle. So if GLD is to hold, if it holds this upsloping trend line, we can get a push. If it breaks it, we are going to come down to the 50, and that is going to be the area where it must bounce or even come and fill this gap. Then when we deal with the SLV, so SLV is the silver ETF. It came here towards that. You put in like this is your high, this is your lower high. So this is a bearish pattern, and we can see that it's putting the top and tail. So I believe we can fill this gap this week on silver, and then from there on we can see if it can hold this mini trend line, right? At least that's to hold this mini trend line, or else it's going to come all the way here. All right, so that's the key thing for silver here that I'm going to be watching and trading them using options. Okay, so let's go to the individual stocks. Before then, let's check out what is happening in crypto land. Let's check out what is happening in crypto land, because it's a lot going on in crypto land that is causing a lot of issues. What is happening in crypto land? So let's check out this. All right. Perfect. That's what I'm looking at here. Okay. So I was doing my analysis on Bitcoin, and this is what I discovered, right? Let me take this yellow line off. I was doing my analysis on Bitcoin, and this is what I discovered. So if you take this, let me take these lines off, and let's do here together. Okay. So I went back to figure out when did the bull market start for Bitcoin, for crypto, because as a technician, you want to go back and dig deep and figure out like where is the genesis of the bull market for crypto in this cycle. So if you here, this is the weekly time frame. This is the 200 weekly. So if you've taken our course, you know what this means, right? Anytime you have an asset which is trading below the 200 week simple moving average, you know that is your Black Friday zone. That's your deep value zone, right? So that's the best place to buy Bitcoin, right? This area, right? So those that knew about this, they bought here, and then they are smiling. So this pullback is nothing. Okay, so here you can clearly see what looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? This your left, this your left, is your left shoulder. This is your head, right? This is your right shoulder. This was a confirmation of reversal, right? So this was the bear market of 2022, and this was a confirmation of a reversal to start the new bull market, right? So Bitcoin, although it has sold off by 20%, 20% or more, that's the technical definition of a bear market, right? Anytime something sells off by, but I think that it is still in the bull market, right? It's still in the bull market. Why is this so? The reason why is that if you look at the genesis of the bull market, it started from here. See here? I can connect, so I can connect here or here. Let me connect here. So here, this is where it confirmed, right? It started trading above the 200 week simple moving average, right? So when you connect that, so I connect here, the lows of this to connect here, this is where we come to. See that? That's where we are right now, over here, this place. So Bitcoin needs to find a way. So let me adjust it a bit. I need to adjust this and show you guys what's going on there. So we have this here. Stuff is, yeah, so here. So we have this here right now. And this is what's going on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has to find a way to hold this bull market trend line. If it fails to hold this bull market trend line, then trouble, right? Trouble. We are going to head down lower. Okay. So apart from this line, there's also another secondary one. So this is the most important one because one, we've touched it how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So again, we can break down to this, but I believe that we are going to get some liquidity step in. You see that gold is selling. So I believe that liquidity from gold is going to come here if this holds, right? But nothing is certain in the market. Anything can change. So if you connect this to this area where we had this like break, let's label it as a different color, you are going to get what looks like. So these are the next area where, so okay. So if Bitcoin breaks this line, right? So this is a weekly time frame. If Bitcoin breaks this bull market trend line, which is a matter of all trend lines support, this dates back to 2023 September, right? Or November. Let's say October, right? 2023 October. Here, look at it. October 2023 to now, where it is right now. This is what a 2-year trend line, matter of all trend lines, right? So as if Bitcoin is able to hold this bull market trend line, we are going to get a reversal. If it fails, let's say it fails, right? Where is the next area is going to come? This yellow line, right? This yellow line must save it. So between here and here, I believe that we are going to get a bounce in Bitcoin, right? We are going to get a bounce in Bitcoin. And once it bounces, it's going to recover and possibly go and make new all-time highs, right? But for now, the bears are in control. The bulls are in what I call the last chance saloon, right? Last chance saloon. They need to find a way to recover from this. And if we fail to hold the yellow line, then we are going to come here. This is the next area, 73,000, right? So this area is going to be a critical area, and then if it fails again, we are going to come to 68,000, which is the previous all-time highs. That's the 2021 highs. So those are the levels I'm going to be looking at for Bitcoin. If we're able to remount the 50, so first thing that Bitcoin needs to do is I need to find a way to remount this 50 week EMA or SMA on the weekly, right? It needs to remount it. If it remounts it, that's going to bring confidence into crypto market, and it's going to reverse from there. Okay, so that's my take on Bitcoin. Okay, let me do one for Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum as well. So Ethereum is now trading below this parallel channel, right? So Ethereum, again, if Bitcoin recovers, Ethereum will recover. But for now, Ethereum is still showing like, it's still showing weakness. We need to get Ethereum to remount this. If not, Ethereum will come to the 100. It can come all the way to this area, 2,400. Okay. So for now, all eyes will be on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the #1 cryptocurrency. If it's down, then the other ones have no chance, right? So the main focus now is Bitcoin. Okay. Nice. So now that I've done through Bitcoin, let me go through my stock ticker for the week. My first stock ticker for the week, which is if Bitcoin is to recover, let's assume that Bitcoin is to recover. I am accumulating IBIT. So IBIT is the Bitcoin ETF, right? It's down here in no man's land, right? So if Bitcoin is to hold that level and recover, I'll continue buying IBIT, and we are going to capture the move to the upside. So for now, IBIT is showing that kind of weakness because of Bitcoin. So here it has to hold this trend line. See this trend line here? It needs to hold this trend line. So far, it looks like crypto is bouncing, is green. So we shall see how things work out this week. There's no guarantees, but I think that if we can hold this trend line, we can start making that recovery to the upside. So in terms of if you want to get exposure into crypto in the stock market, you can accumulate IBIT ETF. Okay. Next one is Irene. So Irene is a stock that is interesting. Like this stock, we used to trade this stock last year at, it was like $12 or something, right? Somewhere here last year, right? It was $12 or $4 or whatever. Now Irene is trading all the way here it went all the way to $76, $77, which is crazy, right? So right now, what I'm looking at is that if Bitcoin is to recover, I want to look at the Bitcoin like related stocks that have been strong through this cycle. So Irene does they mine Bitcoin and stuff, and they have some Bitcoin in their balance sheets, and then they also have some AI. I think is what's it called? What's this AI thing? Yeah. So the AI what's it called? Is it storage site or something? Yeah. So they've turned their business into data center for AI, right? So data center, they also do some Bitcoin mining, something of that sort. So that combo caused it to rally very, very high. So right now, what I'm looking at is I'm looking to see if this is able to bounce. That is going to bounce with Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin bounces, then you are going to see Irene bounce, right? So basically, if Irene can remount this 50, that's going to be awesome, right? If you can remount this 50, that's going to come with Bitcoin rallying. So, but if it fails, I expect Irene to come all the way to $35 to the 100 SMA and possibly bounce there. So right now, it's hanging in the air. We shall see how it plays out this week. But Irene will be one of the stocks that I'm going to be watching in the crypto space to trade if Bitcoin gets its mojo back, right? Okay, so next one is I'm also going to check Oklo. Oklo is part of the AI stuff. It's nuclear company, and what it does is that it has nuclear energy to help AI companies. So here, Oklo has to hold this upsloping trend line. and it also has to hold the 100 SMA. So if Oklo is able to hold that, and I mean going into this week, if the market is strong, I believe that Oklo can get some kind of recovery. But it has, so again, I call this head and shoulders here. You see Oklo sell off to this area. I believe that it might be time for it to bounce. It could be a dead cat bounce. Maybe you get a bounce that comes somewhere here into the moving averages and then loses steam and go down, right? So like something that is green, and then it can now go and set up from there. We shall see how that plays out. But I believe Oklo needs to find a way to trade above this moving averages. If it can do that, then bingo, game on, right? Game on to push this to somewhere here. Okay. All right. So with Oklo, I'm also going to look at this trend line. Here's the trend line coming here. This, the highs, and then this area. Can't even connect it to this. Actually, this better because we have this closer to this. So if we're able to break above this trend line, we are going to get a reversal, a start of a reversal. But if not, we are going to go down. So Oklo is one of the setups that I'm going to be looking at for this week, depending on how the market plays out. But first, this moving average congestion might make it slow move. So if it's able to crack above the moving averages congestion, then somewhere around 126, then it's going to be free flowing. But before then, it's going to be a struggle. So before then, it's going to be a struggle. So the main target here is, first target is for it to fill this gap. If you can fill this gap, that's going to be a big achievement towards recovery. Okay, so that's Oklo. Oklo is one of my main watch for this week. And let me check out the mega cap stocks. So Meta, sold off due to, it's not because like business has slowed down or anything. It's sold off because it's spending a lot of money into AI. I think this Meta sell-off is overdone. I believe that it's going to start recovering soon. So this is a critical trend line. So here, hit here, held here, this area. So if Meta is able to hold this trend line, I think we are going to get a recovery, right? So first recovery state is for it to trade above these moving average. So moving average 9, if it can reclaim moving average 9, it's going to push to the SMA 200. If it can push above that, it can play above, it can trade above close to the 200. So my goal for Meta is that I want to capture a move from where it is now to the 200. That should be good enough for me, right? That's going to be a nice trade. But before then, it's going to be a fight. But I'm going to have this on my radar. So have it on your radar. Meta is still a fantastic company. It's just doing this, spending a lot on AI. But after some point, it's going to recover and push up. Okay. So if you have to get a final rally in the market and a push due to NVIDIA's earnings in the AI space, we are going to see Meta push up as well. Okay, so another one that I'm going to be watching is, last week I was watching Apple closely, right? Apple was showing relative strength. I mean, when everything was selling off, Apple was strong. And the interesting thing is that Apple is the only company that does not have any kind of AI thing going on, right? All the other companies were having their AI stuff. So if you look at this closely, like if you look at Apple closely, Apple looks to me like a bull flag, right? So we can start from here. This area here is the flag. Okay. So as long as we're able to, if price, let me mark this as green. If price is able to crack this green box, the top of this green box, we are going to get a squeeze to the upside. And that can happen anytime soon. So we get something like this on Apple, then we are going to get a push to the upside, right? So let me change this to, let's say, yellow to make it distinct. So this is what I'm looking at here on Apple. So if Apple can do this, we are going to get that breakout to the upside. So that's why I'm looking for Apple, because you see that last week it wanted to go, especially on Tuesday, but it came down. Even on Friday, it could not even get the job done. It went down. So I believe that Apple is due for that breakout. So if the market is strong, Apple is going to break out of this bull flag and make new all-time highs, right? So do not be surprised to see Apple trading at you know, 280, 300 in no time, right? So something like this, we can get this to push to almost 300. So Apple has room to go to $300, right, in no time. Okay, right. So that's Apple. Another one that I'm watching as well is that NVIDIA, the talk of the town for this week, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, how is NVIDIA trading? How is it setting up for the earnings? So NVIDIA has done a good job to hold this Liberation Day trend line. One hit, two hit on Friday, two hit last week Friday, another hit on another Friday, right? So what NVIDIA needs to do is that NVIDIA needs to break below, above this downsloping trend line and start heading up. I believe that from now to earnings time, if the earnings is good and the guidance is good, NVIDIA will be trading again at all-time highs. But if they fail, if the guidance is bad, then trust me, we are going to break below this trend line. So this is a very simple trade. If they didn't have earnings, I'll be trading this, but because of the earnings, I'm just going to stay out and wait for the earnings. Because if you are trading this on earnings time, the contracts are usually significantly expensive, and so you end up paying a premium, and sometimes the contracts do not even move. Okay, do not even move during earnings, before earnings. You're not going to see the move in the contracts once it's moving in your favor. So this is what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. NVIDIA, if it breaks this mini trend line, it is going to push and rally to the upside. Okay, all right. So that's another mega cap stock, and the next mega cap that I'm watching as well is Microsoft. So Microsoft is at a critical level. You see this level here, this 493. So it came here last time, one hit, it held here as well. It held this area, and it held this area, and it held this area, right? So don't be surprised to see Microsoft break out from this. So you see this downsloping trend line. If we break above it, I expect to see something like this on Microsoft in this week. If market behaves itself and is strong, we can push up and we can start moving up to the upside, right? Yeah, but the first thing is for you to break this downsloping trend line, this orange line, and then we're off to the races. So that is with Microsoft. Okay, so that's another mega cap tech stock. Next one is Tesla. So Tesla broke below this trend line last week due to the whole sell-off. It broke below this trend line. I believe that this week Tesla would find a way to remount this if the market is strong, right? If the market is strong and things like that, we are going to push this up. We are going to get, so Tesla needs to find a way to gap up above this moving averages congestion, and then we are going to get a push, right? We are going to get a push to the upside. So that is Tesla. So that's the final one for the mega cap. And now I'll check out Baba, China stock. So Baba. So Baba is at a critical level. So this area here, I believe this area here is a demand zone. Price must hold here. If it fails to hold, we are going to come here to the 100 SMA. So Chinese stocks like to, trade gap up overnight. So we shall see if it holds here. If it's able to hold here, we'll start making the recovery to the upside, and we are going to see this push upward. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out this week and also during the overnight trading and pre-markets as well. Right. So next stickers that I have are small caps stickers. One of them is SoundHound. SoundHound not traded this in a while. So SoundHound, if you change the scale to logarithmic scale, log scale, you are going to see this here. You're going to see SoundHound held this. So we need to find a way where SoundHound can remount this level, and then start making the recovery. Again, with the mega caps and things beating down and stuff, small caps have no chance. So we shall see if once the market start getting momentum, whether these small caps can make it to the upside. Also, Bull has earnings coming up. Bull, what's it called? Not Robinhood. Weibo. They have earnings coming up this week, I believe on the 21st to 20th. And there was news that the CEO or founder founder of the company bought shares of this, billions of shares. So if the founder of a company is buying shares before major earnings, that means that they are bullish and confident about the earnings outcome. That's why they're buying. Because if they know the earnings is going to suck, they're not going to buy. They're not going to put their this thing at risk. Again, Bull is trading at all-time lows, and it needs to hold this down-sloping trend line here. And if that earnings coming good, don't be surprised to see a big bounce here on this, a big gap up, and this can push up, right? So I believe that is going to reclaim this previous all-time lows, reclaim this $10 level, and then push ahead. So the fact that the CEO is buying the shares means something positive might be coming out of the earnings. So we shall see how that works out this week, right? So yeah, so that's about it for tonight's live stream. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And so these are my top tickets for the week. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer those questions. So put your questions in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. Let me see if you guys have any questions. So I'm going to look at this bull thing this week to see how it plays out. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So again, if you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe and hit the notification button, and also share this YouTube link with your friends and family that are interested in the stock market and crypto. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I post education videos on technical analysis, how to master technical analysis, and I also provide some trade ideas. Again, it's not financial advice, but you can take that trade idea and make it your own and make money from it. Okay. So let me see if you guys have any questions, and let me know if you learned this live stream. Feel free to put your questions in the chat. Okay, so it looks like you guys are all good. Everything is good there. So we will see you guys those in the community. We shall trade tomorrow morning. Those in the day trading service, we shall trade live tomorrow morning. And then if you want to join us, you know what to do. This is the link. I'm going to post the link again, so you can take massive action. So if you want to learn how to day trade, if you're a futures trader and you're struggling to be profitable or struggling to pass profit challenges, this is the service for you, right? If you're an options trader struggling to become consistent, this is the service for you. So come join us, come join the winning team to be able to pull money from the market before 10:30 a.m. every day. Okay. So yeah, so if there are no questions, that's about it for tonight. See you guys in the next live stream on Sunday, next week Sunday. And yeah, so have a good night, stay safe, and have a great week. Trade carefully, manage your risk, and all the best. Have a good night. Bye-bye.